practice in your life?
Very important, and that was very relaxing. I almost fell asleep. I forgot where I was. Feeling the Sunday blues or the Monday blues. But yeah, no, it's really important. I think it really helps me kind of think what I need to do, helps me kind of remember the things that I need to do. I think that's the most important thing, but also just to kind of take a deep breath is really, really good, because, you know, it's so flat out all the time and you're always busy, creating all this busyness. So it's good to kind of remember, it's like, this is all in your head, and just to kind of breathe. And even the power of breathing properly is so helpful for me. So that was really good. I feel awake. I feel fresh right now.
Yeah, look, it's as much for us, and I can take a moment to like breathe myself while I guide you through.
100%. It's
Right.
good. And, you know, because I don't usually do it with, you know, with the meditation or someone talking. So it was good to hear you kind of lead the way. It was awesome. It's really, really good.
It sounds like you have a personal meditation practice.
Yes.
What does that look like in your daily life?
Yeah. So usually I used to be a lot more earlier when I started kind of learning about it. But now when I get the chance after a long day, I try to just sit down in peace for like 5 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And I usually just close my eyes and just kind of, I used to go through 3 different things that I usually focus on while I do it. So the first 10 minutes is usually just kind of say nothing and just let the flow go. And then the last 5 minutes, I try to focus on 3 main things. The first thing is, what's something that went wrong today that I could do better if it was happen again? What's something that went well that I could make happen again and try to repeat that? And the third thing I think of is, what's something that I'm working towards that I could do now or tomorrow to get closer to that goal? And those are the main 3 things that I think of before I open my eyes and get back to work. And it's been really helpful. It's really helped me kind of realize that even though something bad's happened, there's also something that's positive that's happened. And when I think about the negative things, I realize that I could change it next time it happens, or I could react differently. And it kind of just helps me prepare for the future. So it could be an interaction with someone, you know, I didn't like how they were, and maybe I would have reacted a certain way. And after time, you kind of learn to react a bit more in a different way, I guess.
So it's a daily contemplation practice where you let go for 5-10 minutes, and
100%.
then there's 3 questions that you ask yourself,
Yeah.
like a daily review of
Exactly.
sorts.
Yeah.
How could I be better? How can I acknowledge what happened through my day? How can I improve, and how can I change for the better in the future?
100%. And it's helped me a lot. Like I said, it kind of just reminds you. The main thing it does for me, it reminds me that, like, there's something good that happened today. And there's also something that we're looking forward to. And let's focus on that. That's why I always start off with the negative first, and then I end it with the positive, and then also something exciting that we're working towards. And that gets me excited. That gets me fired up.
So yeah, similar to you, I've been writing and journaling for over 10 years now.
That's awesome.
And you would, start with a negative. Oh, this sucks. This happened. But then you kind of go, but actually, it wasn't so bad because of these other reasons. These good things are
100%.
happening. I've got so many gifts. I've got so much to work with and so much joy and beauty. Does it sound like that happens to you then?
100%. Like I said, I'm really in love with the yin and yang, and how there's there's always, obviously there's a negative, but there's also a positive to it. And if you look deep enough, and if you kind of stay patient enough, you would find the positive out of it.
Yeah.
And obviously I do accept the fact that there's negative and there's frustrating, but to also think about that and just to let that be as well.
Yeah.
And then to react how I want to react with that. But then also to remind myself that the next step is then to find the positive and take my time, obviously, but eventually get to that point that there's something positive out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we experienced was some mindfulness, right? But I'm curious of your states of mindlessness. When do you go through like your flow state, for example? How does that come about for yourself as content creator and through all your work as well? How does that come up?
It comes out in a lot of different ways. So I guess just interacting with people, I think. As in, what do you mean by that exactly? Talk a little bit more about that. Do you mean like ideas, how ideas come about, or?
Yeah, because when we go through these states of mindfulness, right, we're conscious of our consciousness, and we're taking a step back and we're focusing on our breathing, for example, right? But I'm also curious in your life, how often and when do you get into flow state, right? Is it when you get on a skateboard and start riding and rolling around town? Or is it when you are behind the computer at midnight and you're deep into 3-hour edits of something? Yeah, I'm curious, how does it come about and how often and when?
I think, to be honest with you, it's so interesting you ask that question because it happens to me all the time. Like I'm always thinking, I'm always planning, I'm always on go mode. And I think that's the flow stage, except for when I'm, at a friend's birthday party or something like that, then that's when I'm not. But to be honest with you, it's kind of concerning sometimes because I'm 24/7 on that kind of mode of thinking, planning, and yeah, I think all the time, to be honest with you. And because I'm a big fan of philosophy and psychology and the importance of positive thinking and the brain and how to protect yourself and how to guard yourself from certain thinking and philosophy. So I'm always on edge and I'm always just planning, looking around for content ideas, for film ideas. And so I'm always just aware of that.
Okay, so your mind's always on, so always, it's never off. It's never off then. So no mindlessness.
It's on 24/7. But having those meditations and having this that we had earlier today, other side of the podcast was really helpful. It slows me down. But as soon as I wake up, it's like back again.
All right, your to-do list. This is what we're gonna do. 100%. So we first met a couple of years ago at YouthWorks,
That's
right?
Correct, yeah.
I was working for the Bennelong Foundation at the time. We're doing a site visit. I think visiting Ricky Baldwin, who was there at the time, and Natasha, and having a look at what the project entailed and YouthWorks. And I was very lucky to meet you there. And I remember you just like handing out your cards. And I'm like, this guy's a hustler. he's making the most out of like meeting with philanthropic organizations, right? Tell me about your journey from the very start at YouthWorks. How did it come to be, your connection with that space? Because YouthWorks is and was, they're no longer operating, but a social enterprise supporting young people experiencing homelessness or in and out of homelessness at that time, or at risk of homelessness, with tools to get into video production and the creative industry, right?
Yeah. Wow. That's because I haven't thought about that in so long, but how it all started, it was through a good friend of mine. Her name's Kelly West. And I think at the time when we ran into each other, she was the manager there, or the production manager.
Sure.
And Kelly West has been such a big part of what I do and how I've done things and just everything. So I've known her for a while because her son actually got me into skateboarding 15 years ago. So we've been really good friends for a very long time. And then, through her son was a big fan of cameras as well and was a skateboarding filmer. So we filmed a lot of stuff together and he got me into filming and I was always around him. And then unfortunately he passed away. So I got closer with Kelly. And through that, I kind of decided to do something different other than skating, because skating was kind of, it was during COVID around then. So I was like, let's try something else, because I couldn't really skate as much as I could around that time. So I was trying to try new things. And I think filming was one of them. I was like, I want to try filming and I want to do some podcasts specifically, because around that time, around COVID time, I wanted to learn more about my culture as well. I know I'm going back and forth. I'll try it. It will make sense eventually. But during COVID, I think that was when also I wanted to learn more about my culture. So I kind of started a show called The Scene Network, and that was in my bedroom. And I just basically started off my phone, started asking questions. That was kind of just for me. I didn't know that this was something that people would enjoy. I thought I'd just film it just to throw it out there. And as the show went on, we had 10 episodes in my bedroom and people really enjoyed it and people loved it. And Kelly also noticed that I was kind of slowly getting into filming and getting into podcasting, and she hit me up. She was like, man, I love what you're doing. If you want, I could, teach you a bit more about cameras. We've got a place called YouthWorks and you come and join us. And they had a production team upstairs. And I was like, oh, awesome. I'll, come around and help out if you need any help. And I'll be they call it best boy. I don't know if it's changed now. It's probably changed. But I was just the person that would come to shoots and kind of help them with whatever they need. If they need just whatever, I was there. And that was so, so exciting. And yeah, I kind of just fell in love with cameras even more. And I was that annoying kid on set, just asking a million questions. And she kind of realized that I really loved this world and this industry. And eventually an opportunity came up and I got the chance to work in the production team. And then after that, they also had a school downstairs. And they ran a course, specifically. And yeah, so, that also opened up as well. And they're like, if you like, you could come and join the team downstairs teaching film and media training. And I was the assistant for that as well. And that was awesome. I was basically a student, to be honest. I was kind of trainee helping, but I was also like a student. I was listening and watching because the teacher that was actually in charge had so much knowledge to share about filming, about photography, and about podcasting. I was there specifically for podcasting. That was kind of my medium.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so stunned about filmmaking and all that. And that definitely helped me as well with what I do now, getting into documentary and other kind of different styles of filming. But that's how it all started. I know it's a long story, but it all started from Kelly kind of seeing the fact that I really loved cameras and was slowly getting more interested in it. And I wanted to kind of build my portfolio up, and she brought me along and didn't know that I would love it that much, and just kind of stayed there until unfortunately it went bankrupt. I don't know if I should be saying that, but
into administration. Yeah, things happen. But I'm fascinated to hear that the Seed Network, you're filming and production, but it started side by side with your skating. Then. So the skating came first, but this one came a bit after the death of your good mate as well.
Yeah. So skateboarding, because when I was trying to find out what to do during that COVID period, and during that period of when I kind of massive change and a massive shift in my life, I kind of was like, what can I do? And I think filming was always there subconsciously because I was around it for 13 years prior to that, and just being around cameras and but I didn't even think about it first. I was like, oh, let me start a clothing brand. Let me start this. I did so many different things. I started a sandwich business. I started a clothing brand.
Business.
Yeah, I did. That's how bored I got during COVID. And I was on the verge of doing other things. And then I just was like, I really love it talking though. What can I do that I could just, talk and hang out with people, learn from people? That was my goal. I just wanted to learn. And I just kind of avoided it for a while. I was like, nah, I can't start a podcast. I'm not a podcaster. I'm not an interviewer. That's ridiculous. Be realistic. And that just kept on eating away at me. And so that just came back. And I think my love for filming and producing stuff. And then, because the best thing about skateboarding that I loved when I was growing up is we'd go out and we'd film skate tricks. And then eventually you'd make a film. And then, Tully, he would then have a premiere and would bring everyone together. And I grew up with that. And that's a massive thing in skate culture. Just when a video comes out, you watch it all together and you just hype each other up. And I love that. I really enjoyed that. So I wanted to kind of do something like that. So I think filming, when I started doing that, it just reminded me of how good that feeling was. And I was like, you know what, screw how I feel about how awkward it might be being, an interview or whatever. And just kind of got it done, and now we're here.
Whenever I think of skateboarding videos, right, I think of like guy going first, someone below at the back, and then I see like fisheye kind of different scenes as well. But what I didn't realize, this community aspect of, all right, after a shoot or after a premiere, get together and hype each other up.
100%.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. The skate culture is really good for that. Like, even that's the reason why I skated for so long, because during the filming and the making of videos, you are getting hyped up by your friends, your team, if you're in a skate crew or skate brand company. But just that feeling of like you land a trick after trying for hours. People are filming you. There's also photographers taking photos of you, and your team, your friends are hyping you up. That was so awesome as well. That's another awesome feeling about the skate community that people don't really talk about.
So the best of the dopamine rushes.
It's so fun, and it makes you feel good, and it makes you want to get better and better and film more stuff and get more hyped. And so I think it's awesome.
So tell me about your first 10 episodes in your bedroom that you recorded of the Seed Network. Then tell me about your guests, because it was a combination of wanting to understand your South Sudanese culture.
That's great.
And tell me about your family and that curiosity that led you to creating the Seed Network and exploring stories of looking at culture.
For sure. So that all started during, obviously, COVID, but specifically when that Black Lives Movement happened. And what I loved about that was I realized how much people cared about who they were and about being Black and proud. And I, was running away from my culture for a very long time, and I didn't want to be where I was from, just out of ignorance. And I think seeing that kind of inspired me to realize, like, oh wow, like it's beautiful to be Black, it's beautiful to be proud of where you're from. And that kind of put me in a position to be like, you know what, let me try learn a bit more about my culture. I think the least I could do is go back to my culture, because I can't be any other culture. So started off with, talking with my mum during COVID. Would go to her house and we'll talk. I would ask her questions like, Mum, what's just anything to do with the culture, what it was like for her growing up, her favorite food, what it was like in South Sudan. And I fell in love with these stories. I was like, this is amazing. And I thought, I think it'd be really important for young kids to also, or people in general, to hear these stories. And, I made the decision to be the person that would ask dumb questions that we should know. But I was like, I'm more than happy to be that person.
Yeah.
And so the first couple of episodes was specifically South Sudanese people. My first guest actually was a South Sudanese friend of my mum. She came down.
Wow.
And yeah, she told me everything about what my name meant, the different tribes, different cultures, and I was just in awe. I was just loving it. And we had more South Sudanese people, and the page kind of grew. People were interested in the conversations, and I kind of decided, let's also have someone else. So we had other people from different parts of Africa as well. We had someone from South Africa, shared a wealth of knowledge on that as well. But yeah, it just grew and just had more people. Started off with just wanting to learn about South Sudanese culture, but I fell in love with every other African culture and just kind of expanded to that. Yeah.
So a watershed moment, Black Lives Matter, turned from actually people are caring. Maybe I should care about my culture as well. It's time to get rid of the shame.
Exactly.
Let's wear it.
Yeah. It was such a proud moment to see not just Black people as well, but just everyone coming down to support. And I felt loved. I felt like, oh, this is awesome. And that definitely, is a massive inspiration to why I kind of sat down with people of color and wanted to share their stories.
But it led to a series on Channel 31. Whole series. How did that come about?
It's so funny because that links back to YouthWorks, because at the time when I was doing those interviews in my bedroom and then working with YouthWorks, they had really great connection with different media companies, and just they were, especially Kelly, she had really a huge network of people. And one day someone came down from Channel 31 and mentioned that Channel 31 was open for I don't know what it was. I think they just wanted to give community TV more channels and more shows, and they asked if they knew anyone, and Callie was like, "Oh, Bol would be perfect for it," and she said you should definitely try to what's the word I'm looking for? I'm lost for words right now, but she said just try to see if you could
submit your
EOI.
application.
Yeah. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get on TV, so I did it anyways. And this was so funny actually, because I went away that same year. I was in Europe doing some interviews. I went to London for a month, and so I submitted the application, and then I went away, and then Kel was like, "Oh, did you get anything back?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't think so. Like, there's no way they're gonna hit me back saying, I've got the opportunity to kind of be on Channel 31." And then in December, I think I got an email from them saying something, and I thought it was a scam. I was like, I'm not gonna look at this. Who cares?
Yeah.
And then Kel was like, "Did you get a message? I'm speaking to the lady. She said that you got a message." And I was like, "Yeah, I thought it was a scam." And she was like, "It's not a scam. Check it out." And I was like, "All right, I'll check it out." And it said, "Congratulations, you've got picked for to have a series on Channel 31, and got the chance to do 12 episodes Channel 31." And it was such an amazing experience to be there. But just leading up to that, I just couldn't believe it, and forever grateful for that. Yeah.
So right place at the right time, but putting in the hard yards at the same time, right? Your belief in yourself, fighting through doubt of, should I be creating this talk show and things like that, to being awarded and blessed with your own series on community TV, on TV itself.
And it was so awesome because I was a big fan of Rove McManus. So
Yes,
I grew
Rove.
up watching him, even though I wasn't allowed to because I was his late night TV.
Late night,
But
yeah, yeah.
I used to love watching his stuff. And that's why I wanted to do interviews. I love the idea of sitting down and talking to cool people and hearing about their journeys. So that's why it's so weird for me being the interviewee now. But I love that. And to know that he started off at Channel 31 as well, it was so awesome to see. And that kind of definitely inspired me. And then also to win an award that same year was so rewarding and so inspiring and
Wow.
kept me kind of doing the work that we do now. So
yeah.
yeah.
So tell me about the award.
Yeah. So, through that 12 episodes, I went, we were very diverse with the kind of people we had. So we wanted to focus mainly on people that are doing amazing work in the community. And with the brand, the Sea Network, the whole idea of the Sea Network is, we want to create content that plants seeds into people to be better and to grow and to be inspired. And that was kind of the theme for this specific series. So we sat down with people from the community who were community leaders. We sat down with people who were in different kind of careers that aren't usually normal to us. Like we had a comedian, which was pretty awesome. And we had two comedians, actually. We had a comedian from Juba who came out on tour. And then we also had a comedian that's well known in Australia. And it was awesome to hear him talk about the negative side of it and the dark side of his journey to become a comedian. We also spoke to doctors. We spoke to scientists as well. We spoke to amazing people, and it was so rewarding to kind of sit down with these amazing people, but also to showcase to the world that these people exist and that we're African Australians, and there's so many amazing cool people that live here. And I think the show, people loved it, I guess, and we were lucky enough to get nominated for 3 different awards. We got nominated for Program of the Year, Outstanding Interviewer as well.
Wow.
And then I think we won Outstanding New Producer. And it's so funny because I didn't know what producing was or what it meant. I was like, oh, maybe I might win interviewer or something because, I thought I did a pretty good job. But I wasn't even thinking that we were going to get nominated at all. But I was like, if we were, most likely it would be the interviewing one, because I tried my best to make the interviews as best as possible and as engaging as possible. And so when we won Outstanding Producer, I wasn't sure what that meant, but then I got told that I was the editor. I edited the videos, the episodes. I also got the guests and kind of got the conversations and the kind of specific things we want to talk about. So building all that, I didn't know that was what a producer meant. I just thought that that's what I had to do. So it was really rewarding to win that award and then kind of learn what producing meant.
So you walked away with like a trio of awards.
Well, no, so that was nomination, but I only won one. So which was awesome, very awesome.
Best young producer.
Outstanding new producer, which that's also
yeah.
So and that definitely inspired us to continue producing more stuff, and that's what we've been doing now. So, but the show was such an amazing experience, and thanks to the team at Channel 31, Shane was the manager there, and just the crew that spend their Tuesdays to come in and help us film at night. We were shooting evenings, so to have a team that was dedicated to stay after and film us, and it was just so incredible. And then to have it on TV and watching it with my mum and watching it with my family was such an amazing feeling, because that's what I dreamt of. I dreamt of being on TV and interviewing. That was like my dream. So that make that happen so quickly was just so it just couldn't describe it.
Who are your interviewer inspirations?
I'm a big fan of different interview shows. One of them is Steve Bartlett. I love his style of interviews. I love the fact that he kind of just lets people speak. I first started off with a guy called Tim Bilyeu. He has a show called The Impact Theory, and he is a great interviewer. He is an amazing interviewer. And all these guys that I love were really passionate about listening and didn't want to interrupt people and didn't really want to tell people what they knew about what they were talking about. And that's when I was like, I want to be that kind of style of interview. I want to just actually sit down there and be a child of listening to like you teaching me things. That was kind of how I went with that's how I am with my interviews. I kind of just sit down like, wow, like you did that and you did that. So that's how those guys kind of do their shows. So those are the two main things, two main guys that I could think of right now. But I also grew up watching Louis Theroux.
Oh, Louis
Which is a
Theroux.
lot different, obviously.
Man.
But I just love the fact that he was going around talking to the most interesting people ever. I was like, he do that for a living?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do for a living. I want to be
Yeah.
able to go around the world and just talk to all these amazing people and hear their story and why they are the way they are. So yeah, I think those are the three main people that come up to my mind right now.
Just going in with curiosity and listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Really. Louis Theroux, he gets into all these wacky situations, right? He's just like asking dumb questions. It's awesome.
And that's what I love, because like I remember during high school, you know, we can talk more about it later, but during high school, I was that kid that always asked questions. And obviously you can't ask questions all the time because, you know, there's deadlines and there's other kids in the classroom that,
True.
you know, so it was kind of hard. So that kind of got dimmed when I was in high school. So realizing that I could do that again was so exciting. So I just was like, yeah, just like kid in the candy store, just went crazy.
Yeah. And how did you make the pivot into filmmaking then? So you built some skills up at YouthWorks, right? But getting into making films and documentaries as well. I'm curious about, I've seen some of your stuff on the Richmond housing commissions as well, getting young people together, telling stories of boxing or soccer and things like that. Yeah, I'd love to explore that area with you.
100%. That was also another thing that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to share stories about people that I knew were awesome, doing amazing work. And also I wanted to put, you know, Richmond on the map. And, you know, Richmond is such a beautiful place, but it's got such a bad rep and such a negative look on it. So, you know, after the show, I really enjoyed the interviewing aspect of it, but I wanted to have more in depth and take people more into the world of who we're talking about, because the show that we had, it was very strict. It was half an hour. We had breaks, and so we couldn't really talk about everything, and we couldn't really take them into that world. So after that show, I decided I want to do a bit more documentary film and more kind of, just showcasing different people.
Deeper.
So I went to Europe, I went to London and sat down with a couple of people of color, and that was really awesome. And then when I came back, I wanted to do more about where I'm from. So and I was lucky enough to be working, or I used to help out at the Richmond Youth up there, and just met amazing people that I knew that I needed to share their stories, or I needed to teach them whatever I could, because they were also very inspiring and very inspired about filmmaking. So I was like, okay, let's get them involved. And that kind of inspired us to make different types of films as well. So, you know, they had different ideas. We're like, let's try it. Let's make that happen. And so we've got some different teams, different young people that are a part of what we do now. And it's been so fun.
How did you go from conceiving this idea to actually going out? Did you write a script? Did you have to start filming and getting it all together? How did you go from, hey, we want to do this, to actually let's execute and take action?
So some of the stuff that we've done that come off the top of my head, we did one video about men's mental health. So we did a men's mental health hike. That's something that I wanted to do for a very long time. I wanted to kind of do a mental health video, and we kind of sat down with the team and brainstormed how we could kind of do it in a different way, in a different cool way. And we thought about, let's try get, you know, all the boys together and go on a hike and talk about, you know, what we're going through and stuff like that, to kind of let people know that you don't have to be out at a pub, or you don't have to be out drinking to talk about your feelings and stuff like that. And we wanted to kind of showcase that it's fine to be doing normal things and talking about that. So that idea came from just needed to kind of have this video out there for the world. And so we sat down and we were like, all right, how can we go about it? And we got the team together. We planned it for, I think, a couple of months. And then, 4 a.m, one Saturday morning, we went down to Werribee Gorge and started filming, and it turned out really well. And then the other video that we've done was showcasing one of the young guys that works with us runs a soccer program down in Richmond. So we wanted to also show that what he's doing. He works with young people, teaching them football and building community down there. So we thought about, let's make a video about you and the amazing things that you've done down there and that you've been doing. So we made a video called Friday Soccer, and that was in Richmond. And that was just basically wanting to let people know that look how many cool things we have in Richmond, and look how many cool people we have in Richmond, and look at the people that are in Richmond that are doing amazing work. And yeah, that video did pretty awesome as well.
Tell me about the impact of the videos then.
Yeah, the video was awesome because, you know, you got to see people that look like you in these videos. And we were lucky enough to have one of the filmers who was a really incredible videographer and did amazing drone shots and amazing cool shots. And the video came out really, really, really awesome. But it was just so awesome to see so many young African kids and multicultural kids just running around, having so much fun and getting interviewed. We had a couple of scenes where we interviewed a bunch of the young kids. So even them seeing themselves getting interviewed and getting people to want to know about them. And that definitely really helped. And we still do a bunch of work with them now. And they always ask us, like, when are we going to do the next video? When are we going to do the next video? So it was just so fun to see that and to see them so engaged and so interested in wanting to do more videos like that. So
you're out there in the community planting a lot of seeds.
Yeah,
then.
I hope so. I hope that's the plan. And because I love Richmond so much, and growing up there, we had so many people that came down and gave back to us. We had so many amazing different youth workers, so many different youth hubs that that did a lot for us. And yeah, the least I could do is to try to do whatever I can by giving back and keeping that going. And hopefully, when I do move out of Richmond, I hope that the young people there that we work with could also do the same thing. And that's why we do the boxing program, to kind of teach young people about fitness, but also about confidence and about discipline.
Yeah.
And to kind of bring them together. And we also train them to become trainers as well. So that's another part of another thing that we do, or that we did.
Growing up in Richmond, why did you hesitate with identifying with your South Sudanese culture?
I think just, I don't know, because when you come to Australia, you kind of just want to fit in, right? So you're like, okay, how do I fit in? You fit in by trying to be someone that you're not, because, you know, you don't want to be a refugee or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of was like, oh, Mom, you know, don't cook your food. You know, let's take something else to school instead of that. And, oh, I don't want to wear that. And I think just typical young kid, I don't know if it's just me, but yeah, I wanted to fit in as much as I could. And that meant erasing my culture completely. And the best thing about Mum is she understood what was happening, but she was so patient, and she, you know, she's so loving. And now that I'm back and learning as much as I can, I probably annoy the crap out of her. I'm always asking her things and trying to speak the language. She's like, just speak English. But no,
really?
No, she loves it. She knows I'm getting better at my Dinka language.
Yeah.
But no, I think just probably insecure kid. You know, I wasn't proud of, you know, where I was from. And at the time when I was younger, there was so much negative stereotypes about South Sudanese people and about coming from war-torn country. We didn't really have anything other than the war. So there was nothing cool to talk about. So I just didn't want to be from there. I wanted to be someone else. But yeah, you know, since the war's over and people going back and learning more about the culture, learning about just about our people has been so beautiful, so beautiful.
Yeah. And yeah, with the culture, it's quite common.
Yeah.
Like growing up here, I hear this all the time. It's like shedding your own culture to adopt this Aussie-ness.
100%.
Right. But I think eventually you realize that, hey, your culture is pretty bloody darn special. Let's not get rid of it. Let's because it's been passed down to us through our DNA, through our ancestors, this magic that's been cultivated through us. And yes, we're in a new land and we have to learn to fit in, but let's bring this extra spice and magic because it makes us all better as well. So I'm curious, what does being Australian mean to you at this point in your life, at this stage?
Yeah, I love being Australian. I'm very grateful, especially, you know, when you go traveling and you pull out your Australian passport. It's so rewarding.
It's nice, isn't it? It's a nice blue book to pull out.
100%. So powerful. So I love being Australian. I'm very grateful to be Australian.
Yeah.
I've got family back home still. So being here, being able to learn, being able to have family here. I've gotten so much opportunity being Australian. I've got so much support being Australian. And yeah, I really love being Australian. I love, you know, being here, and what it means to be Australian is just to be lucky, to be gifted an opportunity. And I probably sound like an old, you know, parent when I tell these to my younger siblings. I'm like, you guys are born here. You guys don't realize how lucky you guys are. They're like, oh, who cares, you know? But just to be here, because, you know, before we came here as well, I was born in South Sudan, and then I was actually born in North Sudan. So my parents were from South Sudan. I was born in North Sudan, and then migrated to Egypt. And then being there, I saw how harsh it was. And then, you know, when we were lucky enough to get granted to leave, we were meant to go to different countries before coming to Australia.
Right.
So my mum had friends who lived in Canada, friends who lived in the States, friends who lived in the UK, and then also lucky enough people that lived here. And before coming to Australia, she called all her friends from all different locations and called them. She called one person from Canada and asked, "Hey, should we come down there?" And they're like, "Don't come down here, it's too cold." And she's like, "All right, fair enough."
Yeah.
And then same thing with the States. They're like, "Don't come here, it's not good for kids, it's not good for families.
Right.
It's just horrible." So she was like, "No worries." Same thing with the UK, England. And then she had a friend from Brisbane. She was like, "Man, you should definitely come down here. The weather's amazing. They love us here.
Yeah.
You should definitely come down." And she was like sold. But then we eventually came down to Melbourne, which I'm very grateful for. So yeah, to be here, to know that I could have been in Canada, or to know I could have been in America, or I could have stayed in Egypt, where it was horrible for obviously immigrants. I'm assuming it's really amazing now. But to be here, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
How old were you when you made the trip from North Sudan to Egypt then?
So
that transition period.
Yeah, so the thing I asked my mom was like, well, how old was I and why? So I was 3 when I moved from Khartoum to Cairo. And the reason why I was 3, she's like, as soon as you were able to walk, we had to leave there. Yeah. And so, yeah, when I was 3, and then I came here when I was, I think, 7. Yeah, 5 or 7. Yeah. So, but it was so funny because when I was in Egypt, I actually had such an amazing time. I had the greatest time ever because I was a child. I didn't go to school.
In the world.
Yeah, school was a nightmare for Sudanese people there.
Right.
My siblings went to school, so I hung out with my uncle all day, and the food was amazing. You know, just being a child was great. And then obviously when I got older, I learned about the dark sides of it and how my mom was getting treated and how people were getting treated. I knew. But yeah, to be honest, man, I was having such a blast. But yeah.
And how about that transition into Melbourne then? What was it like going to school? How old were you when you arrived here? 7-ish?
Yeah, 7. I think, to be honest, I think I was 5. Yeah. I'm not sure. I probably should know because it's been so long now. But around then.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I'm very lucky. So when I came here, I had 2 older siblings. There was 4 of us when we came down here. So I had a younger sister and then an older sister and an older brother. And I'm so grateful for them now. And, I didn't realize how much they went through in order for me to be safe and protected in school. But I remember when I was in primary school, I didn't get bullied at all. Obviously, you'll get, racist remarks, stuff like that. But I didn't know what that meant. So I didn't really care.
Yeah.
But also, I remember my brothers and my brother and my sister would fight for me. So I was so protected, and they went through the storm and they went through all that, and I'm forever grateful for that, and they were so protective and made my primary school life so much easier. But then when I moved to Richmond, it was awesome because it was just a bunch of different migrant kids there, and I didn't feel like, I just felt we just fit in real well. So I grew up in Richmond, and there was a lot of Vietnamese people there, a lot of Vietnamese culture, a lot of, I think, and then a couple of Africans came in a bit after. The Ethiopians came in, the Somalians came in. And so I felt like home when I was there. But when I first came to Australia, I lived in Preston, and I went to a more predominantly white school, and that was a bit more tough than going to a couple of schools that I went to in Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how has this living and growing up in multicultural society informed the work that you do at the Seed Network? Now tell me about, how that's informed you, but also tell me a little bit about your team as well.
For sure. I think, how's that informed what I do now? I think just kind of, because when I was growing up, I was ashamed to be where I was from, but also I didn't see many people that were proud to be who they were and to see people that looked like me doing amazing things. So I think that was kind of my goal with what we do now with the C Network and the way we promote people and showcase amazing work that people are doing. Because when I was in high school, there was only a couple of things you could do after high school. That was apparently the only options. You could only do this or do that. And I didn't want to do that. I knew I was kind of a bit more on the creative side. So, that definitely shaped me to do this because I want other young people to not have to go through what I went through which is not knowing whether they should do this or not seeing someone that looks like them doing something that their heart's trying to take them to. So I think doing this has definitely been very, very it's basically, I do this work for my young self. I'm doing this for my, 10-year-old to 18-year-old self. And that's the work. I really literally do that for that young kid who wanted someone to see that looks like them doing specific goal, specific career that they wanted to do. So that's the main reason I do that. And that's what kind of shaped me over the years to want to do this. And, the team, I think, has just been, I've been very lucky as well to have a bunch of young people that want to be a part of the journey and kind of believe in what we're doing. But the team goes from different videographers, young people specifically. We have a sports kind of team as well. We had a friend of mine, Coach, who was the soccer coach. He's now in Northern Territory, but he's coming down eventually. But he was taking care of the football down here. Then we had I grew up with two other boys, one Vietnamese, one East Timorese, and they run the boxing programs that we have with the boys down there as well. So that's awesome. Glad to have them, and I've known them for all my life because I grew up and went to primary school with them. Then, on my side with the filming stuff, we've got a young team who want to get into the social media world and want to, become YouTubers. I think a lot of people want to become YouTubers these days. So, we try to kind of help them out as much as we can, try to teach them as much as we can about filming and content creating. And at the moment, we're working on a couple of docos at the moment. So we've got a couple of new young people who just come along and see what we do, see if they can help out in any way possible. And the whole goal is just to try to help each other out as a team and try to support people if they've got other gigs that they want help with, and to be there for them and to just help each other out. And it's been really awesome. We're very, very blessed to have such an amazing team and such a talented, driven young people come and join us. So very grateful for that.
But I didn't realize it was not just the content, the filmmaking and the podcast as well, but you're actually delivering sporting programs for young people in Richmond.
Yeah, so we wanted to diversify this as much as we can because, like I said, my brain doesn't stop. We want to do as much as we can. I know that might seem like a bad thing, but that's why it's so good that we have a team, because we see so many opportunities that we need to have there. So the boxing program and the football program just came along with just that being needed in the community, and why not do it? And so just aligned, and the boxing program has been really well. It's gone really well. And we, I've been there for 2 years now, and seeing the boys grow, it's been incredible. We actually had one of the boys who started training with us have a debut fight recently, and he actually ended up winning. We don't train them to be fighters, but he wanted to choose that path, and he ended up doing really well. And it was so awesome to see the whole Richmond came down to support him. There was like 50 of us to come down and support him, just to show him that we've got your back. But it was a very disciplined young dude, and just to see them grow and see them become who they are now, and someone wanting to become personal trainers as well, and also pass that down to young people. It's just been such an amazing, amazing journey. So that's been really awesome.
Yeah, you must feel really proud.
Yeah.
And just seeing all these seeds sprout.
100%. And, I'm just a videographer for that specific thing, but Ricky and Isaac are the guys that train them, and they've been putting in so much work and been doing all they could to support these young people and in any way possible. And that, the flowers goes to them. I'm just kind of there to kind of showcase the work that they've done and the work that they do. So we've actually made a couple of videos of them individually and them together. They've also got a new company called Boxing Bros, which is doing what we did with Richmond, but going into schools now and helping other young kids in schools, because it's been so impactful in Richmond, and we've got the proof for that as well with the videos that we have. So they now can take that into schools, and they're doing a great job with that as well. So it's all thanks to Isaac and Ricky for the amazing work that they do, and the actual boxing trainers and trainers. So they've actually got qualifications to actually teach that.
So how is the Seed Network funded then, through all your different programs and
so we're very lucky living in Richmond as well. They've got so many different kind of community grants and stuff like that. So we started off with Richmond grants, which was really helpful, and City of Yarra also been really helpful with grants and stuff like that. And also I've got a really great connection with Vic Health, so they've been really helpful with helping us out with our documentary series and stuff like that. So it's just been through through working with organizations, different grants, but also because I'm a videographer as well. I also then do different gigs here and worked on different programs, like the Next Step program, which is a leadership program that I was a part of for the second year. So yeah, other than the grants, we also do kind of different partnerships, stuff like that, and that just gets reinvested back into the company and back into the team and back into the content that we make. And yeah, so
Yeah.
pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's been an incredible journey so far, and I'm really enjoying watching the next phase of the Seed Network and seeing all your different spotlights
Yeah.
of different people on Instagram, especially. Tell me about that new direction, and you were talking about earlier your nerding out of these numbers and algorithms and things like that. Yeah, tell me, about these carousels, these spotlights, and the impact that's made on the organization itself.
Yeah, so that kind of started off through, because we started off doing interviews, so going around interviewing people, and that was awesome. But when we started doing documentaries, because they'd take a while to kind of film and then release, so once we were doing that, we kind of realized we kind of need to still fill in and keep people engaged and kind of keep content rolling.
Yeah.
And we thought, you know what, let's try kind of do like a news report style where we just showcase what's happening, or it started off with kind of like sports, and then it did really well. We were so surprised. I was like, that's doing well. This is awesome. And then we kind of looked into a bit more, took it a bit more seriously, and we're like, man, this is what kind of people want, kind of stories. And so we kind of just focused on that. And then we went from sports to more individual people, whether whatever they were doing, whatever they were into sports or businesses, stuff like that. So we just kind of promote. Now what we do is we promote people and showcase them and let them know that, hey, this person exists in the community.
Yeah.
And the networking part of it is to hopefully as well connect them to other people and stuff like that. And it's grown so much, and people are loving that, and also realizing how many amazing different people live here and live in Australia. And that's basically why we went down that route, just to kind of fill time. But now that's our main thing. We focus mainly on that. And it's a lot of work, researching people, and then also making sure that the write-up is correct, and making sure that we pick the right photos and videos to represent them as well. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's awesome. And to the point now where we don't have to do much research, because now people kind of request whether we could promote them or showcase someone that they know. So now we're lucky enough that we get a bit of help from different people and people in general. But yeah, it's still a lot of work.
So the mechanism, the storytelling, the spotlight has really taken off then. So people you've become a source of the go-to for spotlighting amazing people of color in Australia.
Yeah, and that's awesome. It's so weird because you don't really think of that. I just think of like, no, I'm just doing this for my young me, so I could see this and I could tell my teacher, see, I told you so. This person needs to see, I told you so. By doing that, that person became that. So I tried not to, obviously I have to think the fact that like, that's what it is now. People come to us for that. But it's awesome and very grateful. And that's why, to see how far we've come and to see how much people love it, we really appreciate it. And it just motivates us to kind of do more work and try to be a bit more creative. So also now what we've done, instead of just specific people, we now do different lists to also help and educate people about people of color in Australia. So we do stuff like, list of books to read if you want to learn more about the country and more about different cultures, different kind of songs and music that represents Australia and stuff like that. So we've kind of tried to be a bit more creative with stuff like that. And and it's been really, really fun. It's been fun just to kind of try different things and see how else we could inspire and educate as many people about people of color in Australia. So that's been fun. That's our main goal. Yeah.
But the beautiful thing that I've heard today is building the Seed Network for your younger self.
Yeah.
Right. And we talk about this concept of representation and seeing people just like yourself doing cool, amazing things. But I want to jump to your friend Peter Bol for a second, right? What was it like for the South Sudanese community and the African Australian community, seeing him spotlighted at the Olympics in that 800-meter final race? Like, it captivated all of us as well in Australia, and he was the poster child for that Olympics at one point. How did that make you feel, and how did that make your community feel, seeing Pete up there?
No, it's awesome. And another reason why I do what I do is because I remember before I even started this, I would always think like, man, like there's so many amazing people that people should promote that why is anyone doing that? And the impact of that is massive. It's so inspiring. So, I waited for a while and I was like, no, I'm going to do it. So to now be able to do that, and to then, as like you said, is to see him there has inspired so many different people to want to be that. Now we've got, Gout smashing it and breaking every single record.
Shout out to
So
Gout,
shout out to him. And
man.
there's more of them that's going to pop out. There's going to be more African kids or people of color coming out and doing stuff like that because they're inspired by seeing someone that looks like them. So I think the power of seeing someone doing something, it just breaks that mold you're in. And, being good friends with Peter now, it's been really awesome. And just to see his journey, to hear his journey, it's just so inspiring. And also with him now, he's got a bunch of he's got, his young crew that he's helping with running as well. So there's going to be a couple of amazing runners that are going to come under him as well. So we did a run club with them, and just seeing them and seeing the potential that they have, and seeing someone like Peter be their mentor has been just such an amazing experience to witness.
But the representation sparks this is possible.
Yeah.
It's possible if it's possible for him or her, it's possible for me and everybody else as
100%.
well.
And that's what happened with me. That's why, when I went to London, I saw so many amazing African cultures, Caribbean cultures, people that own businesses people that look like me, people that it was just so inspiring to see. So when I came back to Australia, I was like, man, I can't wait to show the people that like, man, like this could be us as well. We could do this. We could run our own businesses. We could, it was just so awesome, so inspiring. I think seeing is very important because you could then believe it. And then when you believe it, you're not far off from achieving it.
So what's next for the Seed Network?
I think just to continue doing what we're doing and getting out these documentaries out. We've got very exciting documentaries. We've got, so that's going to be released soon. But I think just to continue filming people's stories, promoting and showcasing people's work on our page. And I think we're going to do a bit more interviews. I'm going to go back into my interview little world. So it's going to be a bit more interviews coming up as well. So this is very inspirational. This is definitely inspired me to go back into the hot seat and ask a couple of questions. So there'll be a bit of that as well. But I think focus on the team, focus on how we could work together and how we could produce more content that are valuable and inspiring. And just looking forward to it and looking forward to seeing how we could also help with whatever the audience might need, how we could help out with that as well. So we're really serious about feedbacks and stuff like that, and making sure that we could deliver what they might be looking for.
So tell me about the dark side of content creation, right? Because it's inspiring to create good things for people, but these pesky algorithms, and I've been a victim of it as well, is that you turn on your Instagram and if you're not careful, you lose 20 minutes. Right? It happens to me. But how do you protect young people from the impacts of the algorithm and this addictive nature of it as well? Because sometimes it's a numbers game. You try and curate the numbers so you get more engagement and things like that. And with the Australian government banning social media for under 13s now, and they're trying to add in YouTube to the mix. So it's happening later this year that they're trying to ban social media for underages. So tell me, do you think about this dark side of social media at all, or you're just happy-go-lucky, let's create all this cool stuff? And
No, I definitely think about that. And obviously, I tell you why we call the C Network before, because it would kind of make sense with what I'm about to say. But the word, the C Network, came across when I was in bed and I was thinking about, I need a name for this brand. What am I going to call it? And at the time, I was a big fan of philosophy and the importance of being a strong guard of your mind and allowing only certain things to go in your mind and to make sure that you're not getting exposed to things that could harm your real state of mind. So that kind of was the philosophy behind it. I was like, okay, my brain is like a field, and I get to plant specific seeds in there that I could then look after and nurture to grow into beautiful things. So I can't just be planting anything in there, because that would obviously grow into something negative, and that could spiral down into a negative path. So that's how the brand came across as the C Network. I wanted to plant seeds into these young people's minds to grow beautiful, positive things. And to kind of teach them that it's very important to be aware that you are also the guard of your brain and your mind and what goes in there and what you're planting whether it's good or not, you never know. You have to be really careful of that. So I do take care of that when I'm, using social media. I make sure that I'm very careful of what I'm watching, what I'm consuming. Is it good seed? Is it a bad seed? Am I allowing it to come in? And there's very sneaky, so many sneaky ways these days. People could sneak things in your subconscious without you knowing. And so I'm very aware of that. So I try to make sure that with my algorithm specifically, I filter out stupid things that I don't need. I don't watch any news. I don't have any news reports or anything. And also that's what we try to do. What we do is to try help with the algorithm and just try plant these kind of different kind of content out there, just in case people roll past like, oh, this is awesome. This is kind of rewarding to see after a bunch of rubbish. So yeah, I'm very careful with that. I'm very strict with that. And I try to teach my younger siblings about the importance of realizing that whatever's getting shown to you is your algorithm. It's not what the world is. Because I think a lot of people believe that, oh, wow, the world's messed up because all they're seeing is that algorithm. So I try to create the perfect algorithm that would help me be positive and get inspired and try to, So my algorithm is very, very, very specific in what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, this conversation has been inspiring for me and for Jasper as we create here in Okiru as well, right? And wanting to highlight and showcase just incredible people, our community heroes, essentially, right? So I want to thank you for coming on the show. And before we wrap up, we usually ask our 3 questions. So the first one is, what are you grateful for?
Yeah, the first thing I'm grateful for, like I said, I'm very grateful to be in Australia and very grateful to have an amazing mother. I think my mum has been very inspirational in what I do. The fact that she had the idea and the vision to leave where she was born, Khartoum, South Sudan, to then move to Khartoum, to then have me, and then to come to Egypt, and then to have the idea to want to leave that, which was very hard to just tell someone in a war-torn country, like, hey, I'm leaving, I'm going to go to that country. It was very impossible. So for her to believe that and then to basically make it happen and achieve that is very inspiring. So yeah, for me, doing this is all because of her and her belief in something that was near impossible. So I think I'm very grateful for my mom bringing us here, and then to be grateful to be in Australia. That's one thing I'm very grateful for. 2 things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for a lot of things. I'm the most grateful person ever. Like, honestly, like if we get a like, or we get not a like, I don't really care for likes that much, but if we get someone saying, hey man, this post has inspired us, I'm very grateful for that. Hey, I'm easily grateful. Because I grew up in Egypt, so I'm very grateful every single day.
Yeah. So beautiful. And before we go on the next question, I remember one of your videos, the cook-off with your mum.
Oh yeah,
that looked like a lot of fun. So tell us a bit more about that. So you just got her to do a cook-off, just cook things and invited people over and just started recording it, right?
Yeah, like I love trying new things. I love just doing anything to try to try new things. And I think one thing was like, I want to show my mom that I really love her food. And I felt bad. I was like, Mom, for the first probably 15 years of living in Australia, I probably hated your food, but I'm going to publicly show people that I love you and I love your food. So I had this amazing idea to get her to cook and film it and get friends and family over. And so, we had this amazing idea because my mom loves cooking and she loves friends and she loves to share stories. So I was like, Mom, do you mind if you could kind of cook and share stories about what individual dish means to you and what they are, how they came about and why you cook them, and other stories that you could share with us from growing up as a young South Sudanese strong girl. And she was more than happy with that. So that video was so awesome and so close to my heart. And that was me. Thank you to my mum for the amazing care she took and her patience with me. I think, so that was the idea behind it.
It's a public service announcement. Yeah. I love my mom.
100%. And it was awesome to see other friends. And, like I said, it's full circle because I wanted to get people to come over. Like, hey, come try my mom's food. For once, I was very proud to actually bring people over and be like, hey, come try my mom's food. Instead of like, Mom, friends coming over, hide the food. So it was awesome. It was very, very awesome. Very, very proud moment for me.
So the next question is quite poignant as well. What have you realized?
What have I realized? What I've realized is whatever you feel is never going to go away. Whatever it is, I know it might be hard. There's different priorities that you might have. There's different things you want to be responsible for. But whatever you have in you that is calling you will never, ever go away. I didn't want to do podcasting. I didn't want to be an interviewer because I was so afraid of what people might look all see me as. But that feeling never went away. That feeling of getting out there and being the one that showcases people and showcasing amazing people was never going to go away. And I kind of realized that, so I took the leap of faith and quit my work. And 4 years ago, and the first 2 years was horrible. It was very difficult and very stressful, but I knew that feeling was never going to go away. I knew I was never going to stop thinking about creating content. I knew I was never going to stop thinking about creating videos about culture, about my mum, about young people. That was going to kill me. So one thing I've learned or noticed or realized is, if you have that feeling, it's never going to go away. It's just never going to go away. So I was like, you know what, might as well try it and get it all out. And it's so weird, because I thought I was going to get sick of what I'm doing. I thought I was going to get tired of interviewing and creating content. But it's 4 years now, and I'm still so energized. I still feel like it's day one. And every single day I get more inspired. I get more hungry to do more things. Even right now, being here, it's just so fun. And I'm so grateful that I made that hard decision to follow my heart and follow that and just go with it. And obviously it's not easy. I don't want to be cliche or anything, but just my one thing I've realized is that feeling, whether you want to be an artist, whether you want to be a content creator, whether you want to be a cook, whether you want to be a writer, an author, whatever it is, that is never ever going to go away. So please just start it if you can, and just go for it.
Plant the seed and water it.
Seed, and then you'll never know how much seeds you might be planting for other people as well that might need you to be the first person to do that, and to then want to do that as well on their own. So that's one thing I've realized.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the final question is, what is a question that you ask yourself?
What's a question I ask myself? Obviously, you ask yourself, is this going to work out? Do people really enjoy what we do? These are the kind of questions I ask myself. But I think the only thing I ask myself is, I think those are the main things. But I'm very positive about the fact that what we're doing is awesome, and what we're doing is very impactful. And I don't ask myself a lot of things, to be honest. What I would probably ask myself is, like, when are we going to have a break? that's probably something that I ask myself a lot about. But I don't really ask too many questions to myself.
You just ask it at other people.
Yeah, I think, that's a great question, to be honest with you. And there's nothing I ask myself. Yeah.
So how do people find your work?
So you guys follow us on Instagram, the.c-network. We've got a bunch of different videos on YouTube. You can check out the cooking with my mum and the mental health video and the soccer video on our YouTube channel. It's just the C Network, no space. And we're on TikTok as well. We have a bunch of different interviews that we did with Channel 31 on there, and that's the C.network. I'm pretty sure. I need to double check that.
Yeah, we'll link it.
Yeah, we'll link them all there. But that's
sure.
where you can find us. And that's where we are.
Bol, thank you so much. You are an inspiration, and you've filled me up with energy of like, we're on the right track as well. And thank you for being you. Thank you for the work that you do for the community, and wishing you all the best.
No, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I love what you do as well. I'm so glad that this is my first time on a podcast and share my story. So I don't know how it came out. I hope it's how you wanted it, but thank you so much for allowing me to express myself and being the first person to do that. So I really appreciate that, and I'll forever remember this.
Our pleasure and our honor.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you, Bol.
Thank you so much. Cheers.